to our Fallacy project. I'm Jonathan.
And I'm Alexis. And we are talking about the red herring fallacy. Jonathan, what is the red herring fallacy?
Basically, it's a diversion. The red herring fallacy is a deliberate diversion of attention, usually by inserting another topic or argument within an argument.
It's really interesting. How did the red herring fallacy originate?
So it was first used by an English journalist named William Cobbett in 1805 during the Napoleonic Wars. He came up with the name red herring, which is cured salt and herring, so it actually does exist, because he used red herring to mislead hounds from following a trail. It then spread rapidly through the news, particularly in the London Times, and from there on it became a widely known term. So how do we, as people, use this fallacy?
Well, we can see this fallacy being used multiple times in our everyday lives. It can be used between friends, family, and people debating on the street. But you see, it's debating where the red herring becomes evident. An example is the following.
So we'll both be playing as either a reporter or politician, and the politician will be trying to mislead the other on the topic that's previously presented. So our topic is going to be, for instance, since your government has, a bus crash has happened recently. What is your government's plan to reduce the amount of bus crashes?
Well, since the last government's term, bus crashes have been significantly lowered, so our plan is working.
Well, I'm glad you're here then.
Okay.
And in that way, in that really bad clip, mind you, it showed that the politician dodges the answer by inserting something that can help themselves. And so it misleads the reporter into thinking, well, there is a plan, when there isn't actually a plan.
So they didn't have a plan, but they wanted to make it seem like they had one.
Yeah, exactly.
So like how my partner and I just demonstrated with the reporter-politician playthrough or example, this can be found many times on the political landscape. On these videos that I'm showing right now, I'm sure that you can find more than one instance where either Trump, Hillary, Trudeau, or Harper use this tactic to deliberately divert attention away from the topic at hand. Usually, as I found in the Trump and Hillary ones, they will normally deviate entirely from the topic and begin attacking the other person. So, like I mentioned earlier, it's very easy to find this on TV interviews and debates.
There's multiple ways that you can prevent being stuck into a red herring fallacy. Most of all, you have to be aware of what the original topic was and remember what it was, so that you're not being misled by either a politician, reporter, friend, or family member. So there is several strategies that we have come up with in order to avoid the fallacy or get out of it altogether. So one step is to ignore the second argument and focus on the first. So when someone tries to insert another topic or argument that may be in some way relevant, but it might be too different from the first, you can just ignore it or push it aside until later and just focus on the first, or have them even explain how that second part relates to the first. That way you can easily tell whether or not you're in a red herring fallacy, because if they have no explanation for it, then it's irrelevant. They've obviously just been trying to mislead you.
Okay.
And then another option is, if it is an entirely different problem that they've presented into the first argument. That's a little bit confusing, but it does happen. You can always tell them that that can be dealt with later once the first one has been settled. And addressed, yeah. So if it's a problem, you deal with it, and then and if there's another problem arising at the same time, sometimes you become overextended if you're dealing with more than one issue at the same time. So that's one way to get out of it anyways.
Another way that you can escape the red herring fallacy is by using your critical thinking in order to make sure that the second argument that is presented is relevant to your argument or it is dismissed. You need to acknowledge the second argument, but you need to realize that it is not relevant to your topic, and you
Are being misled.
are misled. You also need to realize when you're being distracted so that you can minimize the distractions and focus on the same topic.
There, cut.
Okay.